One summer moment can change a child's life. Through Toys for Tots Give and Go initiative, your support provides books, games, toys, and outdoor adventures that spark curiosity, creativity, and a love of nature. Whether it's fishing, learning a new sport, reading under a tree, or playing with friends, these moments build confidence and lifelong memories. For too many children, those moments never come. You can help change that this summer. Visit toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots, delivering hope beyond the holidays.
Study
and play come together on a Windows 11 PC.
And for a limited time, college students get
the best of both worlds.
Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
So as I mentioned earlier, big to-do today in the radio world. They do it once a year, Talkers Magazine. They hold this annual Radio Day, this conference at Hofstra University. So my guy Bruce Blakeman running for governor, he's going to be very excited. I'll be in Nassau County tomorrow. And it's a big day. They got a lot of the radio legends. I was just a guest, in fact, on Wednesday, Joe Pag's show. And ironically, he's in San Antonio right before my Knicks beat his Spurs in Game 1 on Wednesday night. All these great radio guys get together later on today at Hofstra. And just a couple days ago, too, Talkers Magazine released what they call their Heavy 100 list, which is a big deal. I can tell you this. Every program owner, every station manager, every producer, every program director, every talent, they all read it. It's a very, very big honor. Rating the top 100 shows. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of personalities and shows. So if you make it, it's no small feat. And for the second consecutive year, we're number 13. Now, keep in mind, every show in the top 25 outside of me is syndicated. For example, Sean Hannity, over 700 stations. Mark Levin, one step ahead of me at number 12. Should be higher, but that's fine. He's on over 400 stations. I'm on one. Now, yes, the cell phone allows you to download the free app. So I have listeners in Tel Aviv. I've got listeners in Miami, all over the world. But I'm the only show that's not syndicated to make the top 25, let alone 13. So it's a big deal. And the guy that's in charge of all of it is a dear, dear friend of mine for many, many years, the beloved and revered Michael Harrison. Michael, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Sid, that's such a beautiful introduction. Thank you. And congratulations to you, because you are in what they call rarefied space. And in some ways, yeah, you're the highest ranked local, non-syndicated host. And of course, it's hard to syndicate morning shows. And you're such an intricate part of New York. Look, I think you're going to go further. I think the sky's the limit for you. But congrats to you for a remarkable career, and you're riding high right now. As I said, the sky's the limit. We ain't seen nothing yet in terms of your career.
You've always been that way with me, even in my toughest times, and I was basically excommunicated to South Florida and working at one of my stations I worked at. I'm not kidding you, Michael, when I tell you the size of the station was the size of this little studio that is on the opposite side of my studio at ABC right now. I mean, it was a broom closet, literally a broom closet. I went through 4 stations over an 11-year period down in Miami with the hope of getting back to New York. But over those years, you and I kept in touch. You kept putting me on the list, not the numbers I'm at now, but still put me on the list, which I think helped me too. So you've always been a big cheerleader of mine, and I appreciate that. You don't have to be that. Again, you've got a long career working with a lot of radio greats. So with all that said, Michael, tell me what later on today at Hofstra is really all about.
Basically, in a nutshell, radio is facing a crossroads as to which direction it wants to go as the technology changes. Everything in the world, including your refrigerator, has a computer screen on it. Radio, the theater of the mind, is basically designed to be an audio medium. So what is the future of an audio medium in a world that everybody is obsessed with screens? So radio is facing the challenge of keeping its essence, its vibe, its art form, its aesthetic. That's the word I was looking for. Keeping that alive into the 21st century, which we're deeply into at this point, without falling behind and being too analog, too 20th century. How do you get into the 21st century with a very special platform that radio is and not become archaic? And that's the challenge. And I would say, we're going to be talking about a lot of issues: credibility, justice, truth, the financial end of talk radio and media. But the most important thing we're facing is the existential issue of what is radio going to evolve in as the days and the months and the years go by and still remain that wonderful, magical art form, that wonderful, iconic community, grassroots, person-to-person medium that radio has always been. What do you think, Sid? What do you think is the future of radio?
I think it's alive and well. I've been hearing for years. I've been doing this now for 28 years. And every couple of years, I keep hearing the same thing, especially AM radio. You're dead. You're finished. It's over. It's over. Sirius XM came along, and most of the folks that work there are out of work and not making a living. I think radio is still the most intimate, most entertaining, and most enjoyable form of media today. You get on TV, you got 6 minutes. They put the words right in front of you on a teleprompter. There's nothing authentic or original about it. Radio is still the best. And I'll tell you something. A couple of weeks ago, I had Trump back on the show. Nobody has Trump on more than me except for Hannity. And he was on for 46 minutes. And we discussed all the major issues: Iran, Israel, the economy, the midterms. But we spent quite a bit of time talking about this. You're going to love this, Michael. AM radio. My boss here, John Katsimatidis, who's also on your list, he does 2 great shows at this station. He has been working really hard the last couple of years to make sure that AM radio does not go away. When I told Trump on this show less than 3 weeks ago that they're trying to get rid of it, he was furious. He said, I'm not going to let that happen. He goes, Sid, I stopped it my first time around in 2017, 2018. I'm going to stop it again. So maybe we're old-timers, right? It's not like me, Trump, and Katsimatidis are in our 30s. Well, there's a whole generation of people who realize how important radio is, including AM radio.
Oh, no doubt. AM radio is very valuable as an art form and as a utility. It covers both grounds, which is what radio is. I do want to say that John Katsimatidis is a hero in the industry. And he's a rare kind of a talent, the CEO of a major company. He's got other businesses that are even bigger than the radio business, and yet he finds time not only to invest significant money in a local New York iconic radio station, but he also is a talent. It's like a guy that owns, a chain of restaurants and works behind the counter, slicing pastrami. It's an amazing thing. I do want your listeners to know, because listeners get spoiled and don't always realize what they got. I want people to realize that what you're doing in the morning and what the rest of the folks at WABC are doing is rare. You don't have that everywhere anymore, where you're experiencing radio from a station that's a cultural center with a vibe and an attitude and camaraderie among the people on it and their listeners. Stuff, that I grew up with that is certainly pertinent going forward. And the kind of show that you're doing, the dynamic radio show that you're doing every day, as I said, you're at the peak of your career. The listeners might take that for granted. And in this world, between John Katsimatidis holding radio up and pushing it forward and you performing it on the ultimate level, I hope the listeners in the world that listen to you online understand what a treat they have, and they should support it and hope that not only it continues, but it inspires other broadcasters as well.
Well, that's nice of you to say thank you. And I agree, John is terrific on so many levels, and he and I are very, very, very close, and he does a great job with us here at WABC. He's a terrific guy. And on the way out, look, I've got a kind of a map in my head of how I want the show to go every day, a procedure,
right.
And in terms of what I want to talk about. And I still maintain this. Look, do I talk about events all over the world? Sure I do. I mean, I'm going back to Israel in 2 weeks. I've had dinners and lunches and long conversations in Jerusalem with Bibi Netanyahu. I'm going to see him again in 2 weeks. I have the President of the United States on this show every couple of months, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. But I don't lose sight of the fact that I'm in New York City. So, for example, this week, the Knicks and Spurs, your local basketball team in the NBA Finals with the first chance at winning a Finals in 53 years, that becomes center stage. I've got a mayor that the whole world is talking about, a governor that's no good with a dear buddy of mine running against her. So my philosophy has always been, when you're doing a show like this, and Imus had the same philosophy. You know, his son now, Wyatt Imus, listens to me every morning. From their ranch, the Imus Ranch in Texas, Wyatt Imus listens to me every morning because he's still a New York guy. But you have to, if you're in a city, a major city or a small one, you have to maintain that local presence. When you start to drift away from that, that's when you'll notice the ratings are not going to be the same.
There's no question. Fortunately, New York City is interesting to the world, and the world is interesting to New York City. It's not provincial like many cities where they don't care about anywhere else. They're totally hung up on their own history and their own culture. They don't like outsiders. New York is a melting pot. It's a great place to do any kind of radio, and certainly talk radio. So you're absolutely right.
Michael, it's fun doing the show here. There's no question. It's going to be fun seeing you out at Hofstra later on today. Again, you know, you talk about heroes of radio. You mentioned John Catsimatidis, and I'm not patronizing you. I'm really not. You really are a hero of radio. What you do daily with Talkers Magazine, what you do with this conference coming up later on today in New York and around the country can never be overstated. So, Michael Harrison, I love you. I always have. Look forward to seeing you later on this afternoon from my little panel. And thank you so much for everything you do. You're a terrific guy.
Thank you so much, Sid. Good luck to you. Talk to you soon.
See you soon. There he is, Michael Harrison, Talkers Magazine. And I'll be seeing Michael later on today. This huge event. They do a terrific job. Hofstra University, Bruce Blakeman, York County in Nassau County. I'll take a short break. Lots more to do. It's the Friday edition of Sid and Friends in the Morning.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?